Danny, this is a huge twist in the title race. After Arsenal have had a rocky couple of weeks in other competitions, they were supposed to get back on track, admittedly against a Bournemouth side who are unbeaten in their last 12, in fact, since they sold Antoine Semenyo. But how did Bournemouth take advantage of Arsenal's wobble?
Well, I feel lucky I get to do this positive bit on Bournemouth because they were outstanding collectively, individually. With the ball, brave, high in quality, committing men forward. Without the ball, they were tenacious. They went after them all over the pitch. They are so well coached. The tactical plan was perfect. Fitness levels, discipline, every aspect. Senesi was outstanding. His distribution from the back is phenomenal. Progressive passing through the lines. There wasn't a bad performance by any player. But Shearer at left-back, he was non-stop. Madueke switches off here. You'll see Arteta telling him, but it's too late. He kept going time and time again. And then at the top of your screen, you see Krupi get in between Lewis Skelly and Rice. And when the ball comes over, it's an easy tapping for him. And you think that kick Arsenal into gear, but it didn't really. Bournemouth were really good. Again, winning the ball back. Alex Scott, outstanding in the middle of the pitch. But not just winning the ball back, then having the calmness to play with the quality. Jimenez on the right-hand side was equally adventurous with his forward runs. Blocked from Gabriel there to stop Krupi. And again, watch this. All the Bournemouth team in the attacking half. Watch the press. Christie in on Zubimendi, winning it back, nice and strong. And then men flying forward. Delicate little chip. Didn't quite come off for Scott, but look how many men they're committed forward. This is a team who will do this against anyone. They're full of confidence. Shearer again, playing out from the back. Watch him go. Too late, it's reactive from Ben White, he can't catch him. Another brilliant pass forward from Scott. I mean, this is a side, by the way, you know, you'd have every right to try and keep a draw at Arsenal and just sit in. And here, overload, 4v3 on the back post, if the ball was better. Evan Nielsen, you see him coming into the edge of the box there. You know, the mentality to... I think they felt that Arsenal were there for the taking. I mean, me and I were watching the game, and we felt like they looked like the ones who were going to score. And this is the best example, look. They're going 3v3 at the back. They sense they can win it. The manager was pushing them on. They get the little press now. They've got men over on the pitch. It just gets the deflection on the press. And when Adams knocks it down, it's the composure here from Krupier, first of all, into Brooks. And this little touch from Evan Nielsen. And who's there? Alex Scott. Calm, brilliant finish. Probably the best player on the pitch. And you can't say they didn't deserve it. So, although we'll talk about Arsenal, I think Bournemouth deserve a lot of credit because that level of performance is probably as good as I've seen anyone produce at Arsenal this season. And
you're right, we do have to talk about Arsenal because Mikel Arteta described it as a punch in the face, this result. But did Arsenal do enough to earn the 3 points, or did they give them away too easily?
No, first of all, I've got to say, I agree with Danny how brilliant Bournemouth were and their press. Arsenal just couldn't deal with that today, and they were a much better team. But from an Arsenal point of view, they look weak, they look vulnerable, they look very, very nervous, and too many basic errors, simple passes like that. I mean, that should be an easy pass from any player, let alone a team that are top of the league. Madueke 1v1. You get to the byline, you run the ball out of play. Should be doing a lot better. And as I said, players look very edgy. The fans were very, very nervous. Should be a simple pass from Zubimendi. So you're seeing very, very good players making basic errors. Same thing again. I don't think that's a difficult pass to play that ball in behind for Gyökeres to run onto. And players need to take more responsibility. I know they're under pressure. Madueke 1v1. That ball can be crossed now. Chooses not to, fine. You've still got him 1v1, and you're thinking, OK, by the time you've got 4v3 in there with Arsenal players, that, again, it should be a better ball. I said players be brave and not passing the buck. 1v1 Trossard. Look at the distance he's got to run at him, to go at him. But his decision is to know I'm going to take my time, pass the ball back. Pass the ball sideways, and that summed Arsenal up. Far too many touches on the ball, letting Bournemouth get back and get organised. Look how many touches Trossard has here, look. I mean, 5, 6, 7, and all of a sudden, when they do find that right pass, like there, same thing again, Trossard, watch, takes an extra touch. Watch Gabriel's reaction in the middle, because he takes one touch and another one and runs it out of play. Look, he's screaming to get that ball across, and that sort of summed Arsenal up in that game today, and you can see, I mean, the alarming thing is the open play, the XG, 0.18 there, and then shots on target. One of those was a penalty. Arsenal were miles off it today, and it was a very, very nervous performance. And you would be really worried having looked at that today because of what's gone on in the last 3 or 4 weeks with Arsenal. There was no energy. Bournemouth wanted it more than Arsenal, and as I said, that's not a good sign going forward.
I don't think it was tiredness either. I think it was nervousness. They ran, but I think their running stats was bigger than Bournemouth's. It wasn't the midweek game.
Yeah.
But also you get Victor Gyökeres making these comments about a dry pitch didn't help. Now, look, we know he's not saying that the dry pitch meant that Arsenal lost the game, but they're the kind of comments that get picked up, that get spread everywhere, that just add to that kind of general feeling around Arsenal.
Funnily enough, even if the pitch was dry, I don't think they played enough long balls. Bournemouth pressed them high and went man for man at the back. You've got Madueke and Martinelli who started the game. I didn't see them hit enough long balls and play some percentages and try and spin them round. So if the pitch is dry, you've got international players. Make some different decisions.
No excuses today. The best team won.
Yeah, they did.
There's no doubt about it. They wanted it more than Arsenal, and that would be the worrying thing.
And Manchester City will be looking at it thinking perhaps an opportunity is opening up for them. This is who they've got coming up. Obviously, City have got Chelsea tomorrow and then they play each other. And that's, I mean, we always knew this was going to be a really important game in terms of the season, but it's just looking increasingly so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge game again, as they all are at this stage of the season. When you've had that lead, or got the lead that Arsenal have, and City have been playing really, really well and putting pressure on them. I thought because of the performance in midweek in Lisbon that, OK, they didn't play that well, but they got a really good result, and I thought the positivity from that would have carried on today. And I thought if they'd have won that game today, it was as good as over. But they've put themselves under huge pressure again.
Do you want to call the title race at the moment?
No.
It's a big punch on the face, and now it's about the reaction, how you stand up and fight it and go with everything that we have forward, because it's a painful day for sure.
We've shown great personality, to play in a big game, big stadium, and I think we've been at the level of the game, and I'm very happy for the players.
We had some okay chances in the end. Pitch was maybe a bit dry there, to be honest, so that didn't help. But of course, like I said, we all need to do better and need to take our chances.
We was outstanding from minute 1 to the end. I think we got unlucky with a handball for a penalty, but I think we didn't give up, and it just shows throughout the season. I think this team's come on leaps and bounds, and we still keep going, we keep improving, we're wanting to improve every day in training, and it's showing on a Saturday, and hence the result today.
Pressure rising, is it telling on the players?
I don't know if it's that. I think, again, we've been coping with a lot of pressures in the beginning of the season. Today was more, obviously, a surprise of certain action that are very far from the level that we have shown, and obviously that shocks the system, and we weren't good enough. We asked a lot for our crowd. Today we didn't respond to those standards, and we have to apologise, taking in the chin and move on.